Hello, everyone, and welcome to our meetup about pattern matching in Java. Yeah, matching is coming to Java. We already have pattern matching in Python, Scala, Kotlin, C Sharp, many, even few more other programming languages I'm less familiar with. And now, finally, we have pattern matching in Java. So, what is it exactly, pattern matching? Well, usually you will find pattern matching kind of switch case on steroids, usually, but there are also other ways to use pattern matching, and we will see them, uh, such as using pattern matching together with the instance of operator. So, what can we achieve by using pattern matching? Well, we can turn our code into simpler code, simpler to maintain, and it can even speed up the coding itself when dealing with logical comparisons. This is the case where pattern matching can assist us. Let's start with a simple demo. Let's take a look at this code sample. So there is a class, its name is dog, and you are probably already familiar with the instance of operator. And as you can see, the old way was using instance of operator just to verify that the object itself is indeed a dog before we do the casting in order to invoke the how method that was defined in class dog. The new way in Java will include a variable, a pattern variable. You see on the bottom, we have a OB instance of dog, and then the variable itself, dog, meaning that if instance of returns true, then the dog variable will be assigned with the reference for the object itself, and then we can use dog inside this block for calling the how method, for instance. So as you can see, in this case, using pattern matching saves us, helped us by allowing us to avoid the casting of the reference to type dog. Let's see another sample, and in this case, using switch. Now, using switch, it is important to know to pay attention to the fact that today we have switch statement. This is what we always add, but we also have something new called switch expression. I will show you a sample in a moment. First, let's take a look at this code sample. Here, using the switch keyword, and object is a reference for an object. We don't know if it is a dog or a tiger, cat, and so on. As you can see, we can specify cases, and each case also include the definition of a variable that will be assigned with the reference to the object itself, if that case match. And as you can see, we can even refer now, and we can even refer the default case, meaning that none of the other cases match. So in that case, we go to the default, and then we get not supported printed to the screen. Now, let's take a look at switch expression, another code sample I've just prepared in advance. Take a look at this code sample just to emphasize the difference between switch expression and switch statement. As you can see in this code sample, this is a switch expression. It is expression. The value of this expression is either the string dog or the string tiger or the string cat or the string not supported. And because of that, we can return the value of that expression. So when calling the function f, passing over a reference for a specific object, the returned value is one of these strings. let's execute this code sample so you can see that. So this is a sample for switch expression. In the past, we had switch statement only. Now we also have the switch expression option. Okay, let's move forward. There is a requirement for completeness. What does it mean? It means that when you write your code, you must refer all possible cases. Otherwise, there will be a compilation error. By the way, if you look at the bottom, you can see the full qualified name of the class. I wrote these code samples in advance, and I will deliver them to you. So when you try playing with pattern matching, you can use those code samples. It will assist you. Let's take a look at the code sample itself. So it is inside. This is the sample. In this code sample, we have the class animal. By the way, in this case, you can also see that it is a sealed class. We will talk about it shortly. And we have other classes that extend animal directly or indirectly. Now, if you take a look at the code itself, you can see the compilation succeeds. But if, for instance, I will put this statement in a comment, now you can see we have a compilation problem. And the error is switch statement does not cover all possible values because I took away the possibility to the human type. Now, in this code sample, I'm using a sealed class. When defining a sealed class, you specify using the permits keyword which classes can extend that sealed class. Then when you define each one of these classes, you can mark them as sealed, so no one can extend unless you permit specific other classes. And that actually help us to cover all possibilities. Let's get back to the code. Over here, we use the type animal as the type of the parameter of the hello method, meaning that when we call hello, we can pass over only a reference for an object that we can treat as an animal. So it must be an object either instantiated from animal, if animal is not abstract, or an object that was instantiated from a class that extends animal. That help us with meeting the completeness requirement. Now, if I take one of the cases away, as before, then we get a compilation error. So let's go back to the slides. Now, we can create a pattern matching that include the use of the when keyword. We can do so only when dealing with objects. Let's take a look at this code sample. Oh, what happened? Strange. IntelliJ stuck. This is strange. Anyway, guarded program. Okay, this is the code sample. Now, as you can see, I use the when keyword in order to specify a specific condition. Here in this case, I specify that this specific case, in order to match, we need the object to be a rectangle, and in addition, we need to have its area bigger than 20. By the way, you can see that if I take away this line, then it means that we might have a problem, but we don't, because we have the last line that handle the case of a rectangle that its area is not bigger than 20. But if I take this away, then we get the problem switch statement does not cover all possible input values. Okay. Now, using record classes is very efficient when using pattern matching in Java, because we can define record classes and then easily extract values from objects that were created from those record classes, and the entire code becomes simpler. Let's take a look at the next code sample. Here in this code sample, we have a definition for the record class rectangle. If you are not familiar with record classes in Java, just think about using the keyword record instead of the keyword class, and then specifying the main variables you want to have in every object instantiated from that new record class. And that's it. As a result, a new type rectangle will be created. That type will have a constructor according to the variables you specified. Specific methods will be auto-generated for you, such as toString and equals. Actually, record classes in Java is very similar to record classes and data classes in other programming languages, such as Kotlin, Python, Scala, and a few more. So as you can see, just about pattern matching that programming languages copy from each other. There are many other topics you can find in many advanced programming languages and see that the implementation is very similar in each programming language. Now, back to this topic. After creating the record class rectangle, we can easily instantiate that class, that new type, and then we can use it in our pattern matching. In this case, I check if OB instance of rectangle, and then, as you can see, I specify two variables, W and H, and that allows us actually to deconstruct the object. The value of width 3 will be assigned to W, the value 4 will be assigned to H. Deconstruction is also a capability that becomes very popular. We have it in JavaScript, Kotlin. Here you can see we have it in Java. Very useful in order to code simpler and shorter programs. So in this case, when we execute the code, width and height will be extracted, and a detailed report will be printed about the rectangle we have. Let's take a look. So here it is. Let's just close all tabs. So we have the record class rectangle, and then we have a small program. And as you can see, the instance of over here returns true. So the value of width and height are extracted and assigned to the variables W and H, so that over here we can print a detailed report using those two values. Let's execute this code sample. As you can see, it works as expected. Now let's get back to the slides. And let's talk about composable patterns. Let's talk about creating patterns composed of other patterns that already exist. Let's take a look at this code sample. So over here, we have the interface line, and then we also have the interface rectangle. We have the record class point. And now take a look how we define the record class color line. We use the record point twice because a line is actually 2 points. And then we also specify the enum color. So we get a new type, its name is color line, we can use in our pattern matching. We also get a new type that its name is color rectangle in a very similar way. A rectangle is defined by 2 points, top left and top right. And in this case, we also specify the color. And by adding implement rectangle, it means that we can refer an object of the color rectangle type as a rectangle. Now we can use that in our code. Let's take a look at this code sample where we use instance of in order to verify that the object print details received its reference is not just a rectangle, it is a color rectangle. So if that instance of we have over here returns true, then the deconstruction happens and top left, bottom right are assigned with references to point objects. And the variable color is assigned with a reference for an object of the type color. And then we can use those variables and do something with them. Let's take a look at the code sample. So over here, so we have, as you can see, the interface. By the way, you see the font, the text properly, or is it too small and you can't see that? Okay, great. All good. Okay. So you can see that when running this code, we instantiate color rectangle, and then we pass over the reference for that new object to print details. Now, print details use instance of for verifying that the object is indeed a color rectangle object. And if this is the case, then top left, bottom right, and color, these 3 variables are assigned with the references for those 3 objects in use. Those 3 objects that the object we created over here used. And then we can use those variables and print out the data of the objects or do something else. Very simple to handle. So back to the slides. This is a small demo for what we call a composable pattern deconstruction. We have a deconstruction for getting the values the object hold. We also have a composable pattern, a pattern that is composed from other patterns. What we have on right to the instance of keyword is a huge pattern composed of smaller patterns. Okay, let's move forward. Unnamed variables and patterns, meaning using the underscore character in our code. So in some cases, we might want to turn the code into a simpler version that will be simpler to understand and maintain. And we can easily achieve that when dealing with pattern matching that includes deconstruction, and we don't need all variables. Take a look at this code sample. we instantiate color rectangle, and then we pass it the reference for the new object to print details. And here you can see that I have underscore over here because I don't care about the color. I don't have any intention to use the color and do something with it. So instead of specifying a pattern variable with the type color for getting the color, I skip it and I place underscore instead. So it means that I don't care about the color. I'm not going to use it. Let's take a look at the code sample itself. So over here, this is the demo. As you can see, over here, just a moment. Here it is. Here's the code sample. So here you can see the interfaces, the records, just explain. And here, the function print details over here includes underscore because we don't care about the color. We're not going to use it. So that contributes to the simplicity of our code. There are various cases in which we can use unnamed pattern variable. And here is another sample, a function just for testing the type of what we have. So if we look at the code itself, over here, you can see that when we call a test type, actually we pass over a value of the type integer, but we have auto boxing and an object of the type integer. The class integer, capital I, is created. And then over here, using a switch expression that we use as a statement, actually. As you can see, we have underscore over here, over here, over here. We don't care about that value. We just want to see if there is a match with the type, and according to the type, message will be printed out. So this small underscore just improves the code itself, make it simpler to maintain. Okay, that's it. Actually, there was another topic I thought about maybe having it covered in this meetup, but I decided to have it covered in a separated meetup, and it is about how to implement the visitor classic design pattern in a simpler way by using pattern matching field classes and record classes. That I leave for another meetup. So if you have already joined the meetup group I manage, I run, you will get a message about that other meetup when it takes place. One more thing, if you check my blog, blog.lifemichael.com or lifemichael.com/en, you can find on top the menu I have, and here there is the option talks. And over here, I will add the meetup we had today with links to the video and the slides. By the way, if you check this page, you can find previous meetups and talks I delivered, mainly in Israel, but also from time to time, it happens in other countries. So if you're interested, take a look. One more thing, check the communities tab. You can find links to groups, professional groups I maintain. You can join them for free. If you check conferences, there are 3 international online conferences that I produce, my company produced, Life Michael. And if you check the Extreme JS, Extreme Python, and Extreme J, you can also find, you can already find some data about the upcoming conferences in November. And till the end of this month, you can get a ticket for free. So I will be very glad if you take advantage of this opportunity, grab your free ticket. It's not just about talks. The conferences also include interactive competitions using Kahoot and using other solutions. So it is going to be huge fun as it was in previous events. And also take a look at the newsletter over here. There are 3 newsletters maintained on the LinkedIn platform. I recommend you to join. It is free, only 1 newsletter per month. Very concise, very useful. I won't spend your time with these updates, so you can join them for free. And of course, I will be very happy if you spread the word, invite other friends you have to grab the free ticket for the conferences, join the newsletters, join the communities, and of course, take a look at what my company offers. We have a huge array of training possibilities, including premium courses. And there is one specific course you might find interesting, especially interesting. This is the link for the website of that course. It is a course that covers all the new stuff we have in Java, including pattern matching, record classes, and other topics. And you can find all details over here. So that's it.